Hey guys, welcome back once again. For those of you new here, hello and welcome. My name is Evie and today we are continuing on with our Down Under house and I wanted to do the saltwater crocodile habitat. I just felt like it would be the next kind of step to do here, as I just felt like it looked really bare without the water in there. Plus, the saltwater crocodilians are some feisty little boys and I really wanted to throw them in there. They have to nearly be one of my favourite animals in the game, I'd have to say. Now, I know that kind of sounds boring, but I mean, they are just stunning. Whoever designed any of these animals, absolute chef kiss to you. But the saltwater crocodiles in particular, stunning. They're just, I don't know, maybe it's because they're a reptile and they can look so much more kind of intense. Beautiful. 10 out of 10. I want to start though, before I get into the actual design and kind of creation of this habitat, just apologise for the lack of content at the moment. My partner and I uprooted our lives and did a big ol' move-a-rooney. And in turn, I didn't get a chance to really pre-record, nor did I really feel like it. So I was without my PC for a little while, so I do apologise for the lack of content. I hope you guys will forgive me with creating this really funky and fun saltwater crocodile habitat. Now, I love this game. There's something so peaceful about building with it. Once you get the mechanics of the building, I will admit in the beginning, infuriating trying to build with this sometimes. Like, until you really go through and get the shortcuts with the keys, it can take a hot minute. It still takes me a hot minute. But I have to admit, this was one of the funner habitats I've tried to do. I tried to make it actually feel like something that you would see inside kind of an enclosure, like a little bit more kind of theatrical, a little bit more kind of fun in a way. I will chop and change a lot of the stuff I do with the rocks here. You will see in the end I do add some little window ports on that main wall, kind of at kid height, so like kids walking past could have a little sneak peek into the actual enclosure. And one thing I'm trying to really do is only have set looking points for the enclosures, which is something that zoos usually do. However, when you've got the ability to make every possible spot a viewing area, sometimes you just get a little bit greedy. But no, I thought I wanted a really nice kind of underwater viewing area that you could see the crocodiles. The water is probably a little bit too high, but look, mistakes were made. However, I am really happy with this little kind of underground cave kind of feeling I had to it. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to look like you were walking into kind of this dark and dingy, not very well lit cave, and you could just kind of had that damp, cold feeling about it. I feel like if you've ever been into a zoo, somewhere where you do go underground to look at water, you do understand the feeling that I'm talking about there. It doesn't sound very nice when I say dark, dingy, and damp, but I feel like you guys will know. But no, I just thought it would be fun, there's something about viewing the animals underwater that I don't know if it's just because it's not something that I've really had in a game before that I love doing. Like, one of the biggest kind of tasks that I set myself when I first got this game was doing an underwater viewing area for the crocodiles. Now, my small brain didn't realise that people were just going to go out of their way. I didn't realise that people wouldn't just go out of their way to go down and check it out, so it never got used, but it took me a long time. Not gonna lie, it took me a very, very, very long time because I had no idea how water levels worked, no idea how barriers worked, no idea how the pathing system worked, but somehow I managed to make it actually kind of come together, which I'm very surprised by. Now, I will admit, this was really fun. The one restriction that crocodiles do have is they do not like a lot of kind of foliage. Foliage? Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to pronounce the word and just commit to foliage. It sounds wrong every way I say it. So it does look a little bit sparse. I might have just gone over the limit, I'm not too sure. I am playing this in sandbox, so it does not necessarily matter too much. And if you do have all the levels of the animals up to a certain level, it does not necessarily really matter if you go over with their plants a tad. So I was trying to use as much as the Australian ones as I could. Obviously, they didn't really give us any new aquatic plants, so I did throw in some water lilies and of course these grass that you do see on the edge, but the plants over the back, I think a lot of them kind of came with it. Those big fan palm kind of ones definitely did indeed. But But back on the topic of life updates, how is everyone going? What is going on? The year is almost over, which is absurd to think about because it is actually October, which does in fact mean it is spoopy season. It is the 13th of October. I thought it was Friday for a second. It is not Friday the 13th. That would have been goddamn cool. No, it is Halloween sneaking up soon. Now, of course, in Australia, we do not celebrate Halloween. That doesn't mean that it's not a fun time for me, because spoopy things are hella fun. I did see that little blood pumpkin in the background, and it did, of course, remind me of jack-o'-lanterns, because I have been getting back into Animal Crossing ever so slightly. I did put it down for a couple of months and forgot to pick it back up, but you can now grow pumpkins in there, and I don't know, there's something about growing pumpkins that just seems like so much fun. But it is a crazy speed that this year is actually flying through. It's crazy to think that it is almost Christmas time, which is crazy. Now, I felt like I wanted to do something a little bit different with this actual habitat. Now, usually I keep glass on all kind of viewing areas. I rarely do like windowed brick and stuff. I don't know, I just feel like it looks much cleaner and much nicer. And I don't know, I was just having a really fun time with this idea of like a mesh cage, because any time that I have actually seen a crocodile and stuff like that, it's usually been wire or mesh, because obviously if crocodiles wanted to, they could throw themselves into glass at a very, very intense speed and force, and could of course smash the glass. So I thought it would be really fun to kind of have that, you feel a little bit closer to the animals, which I highly recommend not getting too close to saltwater crocodiles, because they are scary. They're actually so aggressive. I don't know if you've ever seen, like, alligators, sure, they can be terrifying. But for those of you who have never seen a crocodile in like full power, full jump, terrifying. Like, they can get so goddamn big. I feel like they can get to like 6 meters or something redonkulous in size. And they get thick. They get to a certain point where they stop growing longer at a rapid pace and start just getting like wider and chunkier and more intense. Like, they're just buffing up just to goddamn attack you. Like, seriously, saltwater crocodiles, do not want to bar over them. Freshwater, still terrifying, not as aggressive though, I feel. I'm sure if you provoked them, they would be. Saltwater crocodiles just seem mean and angry all the time. Like, I went to it was like a crocodile jail, pretty much. All of the biggest and baddest crocodiles in the Northern Territory in Australia were at this place. It was like a rehabilitation centre, but they were really not rehabilitating them. They were just keeping them there to live out their lives, pretty much, because they'd done some naughty things. Some of them had actually killed people. One of them was known for snatching puppy dogs. Like, one of them snatched a little dog out from in between somebody's legs on the beach. Like, for one, don't take your dogs on beaches or rivers or wherever the hell that these crocodiles live. They just look like tasty little snacks to them. They don't care if it's your puppy dog. They're just hungry. They just want to eat it. And you'll be next. Seriously, crocodiles, the fact that they can hide their giant-ass bodies just above the top of the water, and you barely see it until they're just flying at you. So, okay, I'm gonna stop ranting about it. Actually, no. I said I put the water too high earlier. I put it a little bit too low. I think it's probably nice to be able to see the crocodile on top, but I think I would have liked to have seen kind of under their body a little bit more. It'll be perfect for kid sizes. This is a kid-sized area. Yep, that was my plan when I started. You can't tell me otherwise. But I am having fun just kind of decorating these areas a little bit more. I feel like that's something that I don't always do. I've tried my hardest with this actual house to do that. I've wanted to actually kind of use the pieces that they have given us to create kind of a more finished look. I feel like I usually just don't worry about the bottom or the tops of glasses. I'm like, yeah, that'll be fine. No one will notice. Which really no one will, because I'm usually the one playing this, but I don't know, I just like to kind of push myself a little bit further and try and get creative with what they give us. And you will see here, I feel like it just looks too bare. Now, I would love a crocodile sign. Planet Zoo, Frontier, looking directly at you. Crocodile sign, please, thank you. I don't want an alligator. We don't have alligators. We have the Nile, not the Nile, what is it called? The Gharial. I think they're in the Nile, I'm not too sure. Still not an alligator, is it? Is it a crocodile? I don't know, we need a crocodile sign. I will fight for this. Let's start a petition. Like, can we riot for a crocodile sign? Please, Frontier. Because that's what I'm like, I'd love to just make a fake little sign. But, I mean, I do that a little bit. I have got some little signage going up and stuff, but Again, crocodile sign, I do need it. But I thought, yeah, a little hidey hole here, not a hidey hole, just kind of like a little peeky hole, but that was too big. I didn't want something quite that aggressive. So I went with these little, maybe they're New World bits, I'm not too sure. I end up just getting them just for the actual shape, and then I go around and cover them in rocks afterwards, so you can barely kind of see that they're not matchy-matchy with the rest of the area. But I like it. It's something different, it's something I haven't done before, and I feel like it is something that you would actually see in a zoo, especially kind of an indoor area where it's like a little bit more kind of theatrical and fun. Maybe that's more of aquariums I'm thinking of, like, you know, the ones where you walk in and you crawl through a tunnel, then you get up and you're in this like little dome, and above you is like water, you can kind of see in there. Or sometimes it's like you go in there and then there's bugs all around you, like on the other side of the glass or perspex or whatever the hell it is. I hope you guys know what I mean, otherwise I feel like I'm gonna sound like a crazy lady, but I think I've kind of done it okay. I wanted to put some signage, so I do say kind of like, who can find the animal situation, which was obviously aimed at the children, but I mean, if an adult wants to get down on their hands and knees and see if they can see the animal, they're more than welcome to as well. However, I think I might just leave you guys with some tunerinos, a little bit of bop, a little bit of stop, a little bit of fun times until I come back at the very end and kind of just go over the full finished enclosure with you guys. But I will leave you for the minute, and you'll be hearing from future Evie. And just like that, I am back with a little sneak peek at the Spot the Animal. I did throw in a couple of I was going for more roots than dried vines kind of vibes. I feel like if you've ever seen kind of a little bit of outback Australia, there is like these beautiful gorges and stuff with quite sheer cliffs against riverbanks and stuff where you do see crocodiles. So that's the kind of vibe that I was going, where you will have some, not lush greenery, but greenery nevertheless, as well as some kind of dead plants. So I also wanted to throw in the long grass to make it look like there was some plants and muck growing on the bottom. I would love a little bit more of like aquatic kind of plants. Still crossing my toes and my fingers for an aquatic update. Can you imagine? Dolphins, seals, ugh, I'd actually shit my pants. But no, I actually think this worked out very well. Of course, my crocodiles were also putting on a show for me being up real close, which I was very thankful for. So thank you, crocodilians, for doing what I needed you to do. Now, I can't even try and talk my way through this. It'll look better when the cassowary enclosure and the kangaroo enclosure is of course done as well, which they will be coming very, very shortly. Oh, bumpity bumpity bump. Sometimes I do get stuck. Yep. In the tethered cam. I thought just a nice little view over the entire enclosure as you're walking kind of over a bridge, I guess. Up the ramp, you're still over a little bit of a bridge, but I thought it was a nice overview. You can still really only see the crocodile enclosure, and I think that looks nice as it doesn't seem too busy. Like, you're not seeing everything all at once. I'm trying to avoid being able to see too much from one spot, other than the koala enclosure, because they're too goddamn cute. Like, you need to see them from everywhere. And hopefully that's okay with you guys. But I did make this cute little fake seat here that you cannot actually sit on it. I would love to kind of allocate or make kind of like these base seats that we can hide in stuff a little bit better. However, that was not the case. But I was happy with that little bit of education area that I did put together. I thought it tied in remarkably well with the rest of it. So here are just some nice cinematic shots of that bad boy getting out of the water. Chumpity chomp. Lunch is served. I'm sorry, that was terrible. But thank you guys once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye!